Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
First of all, so sorry about these being so late the last couple of days. When I was in Canada, it was madness. So getting these up every single day was the biggest pain in my you-know-what. You don't even know. Second of all, things have been crazy in Kellytown. Turns out our beautiful landlord is not renewing our lease that ends in 12 days. So I'm going to be homeless. So if you want to live with me, you let me know and I'm going to come live with you. In the meantime, I'm just freaking out and packing up my room. So take a good look because we're not going to be here anymore. Now, today's vlog is going to be kind of all over the place, so bear with me. First of all, I totally and completely just cut out one of my runs from this weekend. So let's just take a second to put that guy in there. Ready? Cue Freddy's run. We are here. Summit is happening. I have to run 6.2 miles. Why 6.2 miles, Josh? Just curious. That's where we're staying. All right, let's get this over with so I can party. I am going to get so lost. Supposedly there's a lake with water. So I asked these guys in a Jeep where the beach was, and they told me to follow this road. So we're either gonna find certain death or a beach. Yay, Canada! Collingwood Trails. Where am I? You are here. We're at Ulster Bluff Road. Ulster Bluff Road. How do you read a map? Okay, wait, that's north. How do you know which way is north? Let's go that way, because I came from that way-ish. Let's go that way. Whatever. I'm about 1.5 miles in. There's a frog! Look at it! It's a frog! Wildlife. Alright, we have to beat the rain. We gotta get back. 2.25 more miles. Let's see if we can't beat this rain. There are wild turkeys! Look! Ah! I almost just ran over a turkey! I'm done. That was fun. So much wildlife in Canada. I seriously needed that trip away to be with amazing people, but things were absolutely nuts while I was gone and I didn't have any service and it just like the timing was awful. But luckily my November Project friends are like understanding and caring and just listened and were there for me, so thanks for them. But a lot of people who I talked to at November Project Summit didn't know that I hadn't been running for a really long time, which was kind of mind-boggling to me because I feel like I'm really open about that. But I wanted to talk about the reason why I started running. Ready? I was desperate. Things in my life had just totally and completely self-destructed. Like, we're talking Gaia problems. I was having a really hard time moving forward from my brother's loss. And I had this 9-to-5 job that I just wasn't into. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, so I would come home and sit on the couch, watch Real Housewives, and snack. And I could feel myself falling into old habits, and I was terrified that I was going to gain a lot of weight again. And so I hadn't slept the night before, and it was Thanksgiving Day. And I really missed my brother, and my sister was in New York, and I just felt really alone. And the gym was closed. And normally I'd gotten in the habit that when I was really sad or if I was really upset, I would go spin. But I couldn't. It was Thanksgiving. So the only thing I could do was go for a walk. So I put on my shoes, and I thought, I'm going to go for a run. So I take off, and I get to the end of my street, and I'm out of breath. I literally felt like I was dying. So I had to walk. So I walked, and then I would run like a light post until I would just run until I can't run anymore. And then I would walk, And it was 5 in the morning, so my sister was texting me because she was at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and she knew I wasn't sleeping. And I told her, I'm on a run. And she's like, how far? And I'm like, 3 miles. And she's like, how long did it take you? And I'm like, an hour and a half. But I remember when I got home, I felt like a tiny bit lighter. Like I felt like I was carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders. And I kind of felt like this teeny tiny little, like, I feel like I can stand a tiny bit taller. So I decided to do it the next day. And I kept doing it, and I kept doing it, and I kept doing it. And a week goes by, and I'm still doing it. And then a month goes by, and I'm able to run, I can run 2 or 3 miles without stopping. And I felt amazing. Like, I would tell anyone who would listen to me. I would go to the supermarket, and I would tell the cashier, oh, I'm going for a run. I'm going to go run 3 miles. And I think I would run, the 3 miles in 45 minutes. But it was a big deal to me. But I ran my first half marathon on a whim. I was totally unprepared. The furthest I'd run was 5 or 6 miles, and I was in Hawaii, and my best friend Irene texted me, and she said, do you want to run this half marathon this weekend because my mom doesn't want to do it. It's at Disneyland. And I was like, there's no way I can do that. And she was like, I think you can. And for some crazy reason, Irene was like, try to run for 2 hours on Wednesday and just to see if you can do it. And if you can do it, you'll be good. So literally the week of my first half marathon, I ran for 2 hours. I ran 11 miles in Hawaii, which in hindsight was the most ludicrous and crazy thing you could ever do the week of your first half marathon, especially if the furthest you've gone is 5 miles. Totally nuts. But I survived, and it gave me the confidence I needed. But running that first half marathon was actually the hardest thing I've ever done. Second hardest. The hardest thing was my first marathon. That was different level hard. But I actually remember miles 11 and 12, I actually wanted to quit. I almost walked off the course. It was every single step was a battle between, just stop, you'll have another try, you can't do this. But for some crazy reason, some girl, she was doing Team in Training, which is a charity program, an amazing charity program. She runs up to me and she's like, I'm really struggling. This is my first half marathon, but we've been running side by side the whole time. Can we run together? And I was like, absolutely. I'm struggling. So we ran together for a while, and we just supported each other. And I remember crossing the finish line just thinking oh my God, I can't believe I just did that. Who is this person that can run a mile, let alone 13.1? And it really was the beginning turning point for what I was going through. I don't think I really found myself until I ran my first marathon. I should say survive. I ran parts of it, but I definitely, my first marathon was all about surviving. But running my first half marathon really just taught me that you can't always listen to this. That sometimes this is infinitely more important, because you're so much stronger than you think. And had I listened to this, I would have quit, and who knows what would have happened. I really truly believe it's not about how badly you want something, it's just about how hard you're willing to either work for it or push through pain and discomfort for it. That's something I really truly believe. I think sometimes some things are going to be so much harder and more intimidating and scarier and they won't feel possible. But the only way you'll fail is if you fail to try. I really believe that. So take that into consideration when you're working towards goals, or when you're looking at your life and things start to feel impossible or intimidating or scary. You can do anything. You just have to believe in yourself. All right. Daily vlogs, back on track. I'm home until next week when I go to Boston, and then I'm back for 2 weeks, and then I go to California. So this month is a huge month. Let's get after it. It's Tuesday. It is Track Tuesday. We got this.